story begins in the Tianwu continent, specifically in Yan'an City, at the house of the Yi family. Men forcefully kick open the house gate and angrily ask if Yi Yun is dead, while also calling him useless trash. The steward of the Yi family, Fang Hu, tells Yun that if he is not dead, he should hurry up and crawl out to meet them. Then, they open the house door and find our protagonist, Yi Yun, sitting on the ground, clearly in pain. Hu tells him that he is truly a genius at the 9th stage of body tempering. Even after being exposed to such a high dose of solar-eroding corpse poison, he hasn't immediately died. As a fellow member of the Yi family, Hu says he'll send him on his way with a direct hit. Yi Yun just glares at Hu in anger while ordering the men to attack him. One of the men teasingly tells Yi Yun that he has no choice in the matter. Then, this man launches his blade to kill Yi Yun, telling him not to blame him for being heartless. Fortunately, Yi Yun grabs the man's hand in time and angrily glares at him, making the man stunned in shock. Then, Yi Yun cracks the man's hand and pulls it out of the man's body. The man falls to the ground, shouting in pain. Yi Yun then stands up and tells them that he'll give them a piece of advice before they take any action. They should keep their talking to a minimum. Then, he walks past the shaking man on the ground, who, in a panicky state, asks him if he wasn't poisoned and injured. But Hu notices that Yun's cultivation level has also recovered. Then, Yun asks Hu if he is wondering why his cultivation has recovered. Our protagonist was originally a senior game otaku. However, he woke up one day and found himself reincarnated into the body of the young master of the Yi family in Bayun City, with the same name and surname. The painful sensations in his body and residual memories told him that he was poisoned by Yi Kun, the eldest son of the Yi family. Overnight, he went from being a martial arts genius to a waste, and he almost lost his life. Fortunately, there is no road without an end. Then a notification showed him that the multiverse devouring system had matched with him and had been activated automatically. Ian was confused at first, wondering what the multiverse devouring system was. But when the system showed him that it detected a large amount of poison within his body, which could endanger his safety, and asked him if he would like to devour it, with shaking hands, he clicked yes. He knew that whatever it was, he didn't have the right to choose. Then a strong bolt of lightning went inside his body, while the notification showed him that he had activated the attribute panel and storage space. Also, the poison in his body was successfully devoured, and he was congratulated for obtaining 800 experience points, so his original skill, Pie Mountain Palm, was changed to Fire Poison Palm. Then the system showed him his status. His realm is at the 3rd stage of body tempering, and his experience points are 100 over 1,000. It also showed him that when his experience points are full, he can break through to the 4th stage of body tempering. Additionally, he doesn't have a weapon. His technique is an inherited technique called Feiyun Art, which is of advanced yellow rank. His martial arts include Fire Poison Palm, which is of advanced mysterious rank, Tremor Stop, which is of advanced yellow rank, and Sound Wave Roar, which is of intermediate rank. Ian couldn't believe that after he devoured the toxin, his original Pile Mountain Palm skill unexpectedly evolved into the higher level Fire Poison Palm, who angrily asked Aeon if he's mute, demanding to know who helped him recover his cultivation. Aeon teasingly smiles at Hu and replies that the heavens themselves couldn't tolerate scum like him, so they granted him an extremely powerful ability, the super thick golden finger. Upon hearing this, Hu fearfully asks what Yi Yun wants to do next. Yi Yun knows that his current body has just recovered and his physical strength is weak, so he needs to act quickly. Then, a system notification appears, stating that it has detected his current strength and is offering him a newcomer's gift package. It asks if he would like to open it immediately. Yi Yun shouts at the system, asking what it's waiting for, and orders it to open the gift. The system congratulates him for obtaining 1,000,000 times attack speed. It explains that this is an extremely powerful divine ability that can't be evaluated at his current level of cultivation. As his cultivation improves, he can unlock even higher attack speeds. The system shows that its divine ability is unknown, making a young think that this is interesting. In the world of martial arts, speed is highly valued, and this 1,000,000-fold attack speed will significantly enhance his combat power. Hu, now furious, asks the man behind him what he's waiting for and orders him to cut off Yi-yun's limbs while he's stunned. The man acknowledges the order, but before he can act, Yi-yun appears in front of Hu with incredible speed. He grabs Hu's shoulder and activates his threefold attack Speedfire Poison Palm. A powerful burst of fire erupts, sending Hu flying into a wall. Badly injured, Hu falls to the ground. Yi-yun approaches him, remarking that the ability worked quite well for a first-time use and that the increase in speed also seems to boost his explosive power. Hu, shaking in pain, asks what kind of power Yi-yun possesses. Yi-yun simply tells him that there are many things he doesn't yet understand and suggests he seek answers from Yamungi. Then, Yi-yun uses his Devour Fragrance skill. While holding Hu's head, who feels something wrong with his cultivation and angrily asks what Yi-yun has done, who then screams in pain. A notification appears, informing Yi-yun that he has successfully devoured Hu's energy and gained 300 experience points. Hu collapses, and the man begging for his life and admitting his wrongdoing. Ian walks closer to the man and tells him that he's next. It's his turn now. The system then notifies him that his divine ability of 1,000,000 times attack speed is now set to a threefold attack speed for demonstration purposes. Night falls on the outer edges of the Black Moon mountain range. Ian attacks a massive boar attempting to flee. In the process, it crashed into a huge tree, destroying it. A few minutes later, the boar collapses, dead from Ian's final punch that leaves a significant mark on its body. Exhausted, Ian catches his breath, relieved that the boar has finally stopped struggling. Small boars around him tremble in fear. Knowing he's nearly out of stamina, he places his hand on the boar and activates his Devour skill. A black aura emanates from the boar as he devours it. A system notification congratulates him for devouring the essence of a first-order, thick-skinned wild boar king, awarding him 100 experience points. It also congratulates him for advancing to the 5th stage of body tempering. Yi-yun is grateful. After 2 days of diligent practice, he has progressed from the 3rd to the 5th stage of body tempering. He also confirms a few things. First, he discovers that the system can devour not just a cultivator's cultivation, but also pills, techniques, and spirit stones. After defeating Hu, he searches the man and finds that Hu had hidden several treasures. Yi-yun devours these and notices that they can directly fuse into higher-grade pills within his body, thereby increasing his cultivation. The system informs him that a first-order gathering spirit pill has fused into a second-order gathering spirit pill, granting him an additional 500 experience points. Second, he learns that besides cultivators, demonic beasts are also prime targets for devouring. These beasts, ranked from 1st to 9th, correspond to the 9 great realms of cultivators. Devouring these beasts can rapidly enhance his cultivation. However, similar to devouring a cultivator's cultivation, the system must detect that the target is critically injured or near death. Unfortunately, devouring non-living beings restores a certain amount of his stamina. Yi-yun notices that the palm of his hand is already healing. Lastly, and most notably, the system comes equipped with perception and dashing features, saving him considerable effort. The system alerted him to a new cluster of demonic beasts located 30 degrees in Jiang to the southwest. This made him realize that after eliminating this group of wild boars, he would advance to the 5th stage of body tempering. However, he understood that this was still far from sufficient for leveling up. Later that night, within the Yi family compound, he acknowledged that he had consumed most of the demonic beasts in the outer rim of the Black Moon mountain range. Initially, he aimed to seize the opportunity to rapidly enhance his power. However, access to the inner circle required the collaborative efforts of the 3 primary clans. Consequently, he decided to explore alternative cultivation methods the next day. Yet, upon opening his house door, he was startled by an unexpected sight, and someone attacked him from behind. Luckily, he evaded the assault. He quickly glanced over his shoulder, inquiring who the assailant was. One of the men accused him of killing his associates, and Yi-kun, the son of an elder at the 6th stage of body tempering, chided him for his arrogance. He observed that, aside from Kun, all the other cultivators had reached the 7th stage of body tempering. Kun revealed that the soul-eroding corpse poison, which he had specially acquired from the southern frontier, had failed to kill him. Notably, Yun had also progressed to the 5th stage of body tempering in just 2 days. However, Kun dismissed its significance, deeming it a divine opportunity. Then Kun lunged at him, intending to torment him personally. Unexpectedly, he swiftly grasped Kun's hand, leaving Kun stunned by his speed. When Kun questioned the timing of his action, he merely smirked at Kun and broke Kun's hand, causing him to cry out in agony. Kun's men ran toward them immediately to help their master, but he merely tightened his grip on Kun's hand while casting a glare at them. Kun angrily labeled him a little animal and inquired how he could dare to break his arm. Then he declared that he was going to kill him. His men were also preparing to launch an attack on him, but he responded by kicking Kun's leg and telling him not to worry, because it was not just his arm that would be damaged. Subsequently, Kun's leg broke and he screamed in pain. He asserted that Kun's legs would not be spared either. One of the men initiated an attack on him, commanding him to release their master immediately. He answered, "As you wish," released his grip on Kun, and quickly attacked the men so swiftly that they couldn't even see him move. This led one man to question what was happening, and how this young man could be so fast, being only at the 5th stage of the body tempering realm. The man was shocked when he realized Yun was holding his neck, having not noticed him get so close. Yun then pushed him forcefully, causing him difficulty in breathing, and tossed him forcefully onto the ground. Kun wondered fearfully how this was even possible, thinking that this couldn't be happening. Yun moved closer to the injured Kun, who was anxiously warning him to stay away. Yun inquired if Kun enjoyed the act of poisoning others, but Kun only responded by loudly warning him not to approach, then utilized his fire poison palm skill to attack Kun, shouting in extreme pain following a large explosion. Nonetheless, Kun told him that if he had the courage, he should finish him off, otherwise, he would find him one day and exact revenge for the day's humiliation. Yun gripped Kun's head and assured him that the opportunity for revenge would not be an option, which made Kun start begging in fear. Yun activated his devouring skill, emitting a black aura that made Kun scream and shudder in pain. A notification appeared, signaling that the enemy was identified as severely injured and that his devouring was complete. He was then congratulated for acquiring 15,000 points and reaching the 6th stage of the body tempering realm. Kun felt his cultivation levels waning and demanded to know what Yun had done to him. Yun retracted his hand while teasingly asking Kun if he couldn't handle the situation. He informed Kun that this was payback, a tenfold return for what he had done to him earlier. He then instructed Kun to crawl out of his territory like a dog, posing the question to Kun to see if he understood. In Kun's perspective, Yun was nothing short of a devil. A moment later, within the Yi family's residence in Bayon City, specifically at the patriarch's mansion, men were lying dead on the ground. One man tried to send out a quick message to summon the Grand Patriarch back home. He was physically exhausted from having killed a substantial number of people, but emotionally, he was pleased. Not only had he acquired a lot of cultivation experience on this particular journey, but he had also discovered the key to the Grand Patriarch's private treasure chamber. However, he was fully aware that he had damaged Yi Kun's danchin, so when Kun's father, Yi Cheng, returned, he wouldn't let this transgression go unpunished. Yi Cheng, who is Yi Kun's father, also serves as the Grand Patriarch of the Yi family. He is a master at the 2nd stage of the Kai blood realm. However, he was currently only at the 6th stage of body tempering. Therefore, even if he were to utilize a 3-fold increase in attack speed, defeating Yi Cheng would still present a formidable challenge. As a result, he recognized the urgency of elevating his own level of cultivation as quickly as possible. His system alerted him that a significant treasure was located 5 meters to his southeast. Following the direction, he approached a wall and used the key he had found within the patriarch's residence. Upon doing so, the wall slowly lifted, revealing a hidden door. When he entered the room, he saw a door that was locked. His eyes met a trove of gold coins, books, antiques, jewels, and various other items. He immediately activated his devouring skill and proudly declared to Chang that all the treasure he had painstakingly accumulated over years was now his possession. The system rewarded him with 2,000 experience points for successfully devouring the Kunwu essence grass, another 25 0 points for devouring 5 second layer inter-elemental pills, and he also acquired the Spirit Glow Sword technique, which was of an advanced mysterious rank. These notifications continued to appear one after another until he had devoured every item in the room. Ultimately, the system congratulated him on achieving the 9th stage of body tempering. Examining his status, the system revealed that he was now in the 9th stage of body tempering. He had amassed 800 experience points out of the required 6,000 to break through to the first stage of the Kai blood realm. His repertoire of martial arts now included the Spirit Glow Sword technique of Advanced Mysterious rank, Fire Poison Palm of Advanced Mysterious rank, Tremor Stomp of Advanced Yellow rank, and Soundwave Roar of Intermediate Yellow rank. Although surprised, he felt that it was still more beneficial to consume pills for advancement. Then he was astonished when a notification appeared, announcing that he had discovered a 3rd layer spiritual weapon, the Spirit Execution Sword. He had not anticipated that Chang would possess such a potent weapon. He promptly seized the sword, contemplating that a 3rd layer spiritual weapon could stand up to a martial artist even in the Grandmaster realm. He instructed the system to store it, and a notification confirmed that the Spirit Execution Sword was safely stored in his system storage space, available for retrieval at any time. He inspected his storage space and felt gratified that the system provided unlimited storage capacity. This meant he could store items for his personal use and also keep healing elixirs on hand for emergency situations. With a teasing laugh, he thought about how Chang would never have anticipated that his own weapon would eventually be used to kill him. The next morning, as he strolled near the river, he recognized that it was time to return to his home. He had devoured all the resources in the vicinity. Just then, he was located and approached by Wu Mo, the Yi family's butler. Wu Mo questioned why he was there and not resting in his designated room. Ignoring the inquiry, he learned from Wu Mo that the family master had returned and was actively searching for him. Meanwhile, back in the main house, Yi Wushuang, the master of the Yi family, was coughing a lot of blood. A servant expressed deep concern, suggesting that due to the severity of his injuries, he should prioritize rest. Yi Wuxiang, however, refused to heed this advice. He was resolute that he could not rest until he had seen his son Yun. At that precise moment, Yun burst into the room, urgently calling out to his father with evident worry. Wuxiang gladly told that he was there, but he was shocked by his father's condition. He asked Wu what was going on and why his father was injured so badly. Wu replied that after he was poisoned, Wushuang went to great lengths to find him an antidote. However, Wushuang was seriously injured at that time because he entered the dangerous Misty Swamp to defeat the demonic beasts. Wushuang told Wu to stop talking about it and ordered them to hurry and bring the mysterious elixir quickly. Wushuang showed the mysterious elixir to him and told him to take it fast because it should be able to remove 30% of the poison after taking it. He looked at it, knowing that it was a 2nd layer elixir and its effect lifted poison and raised cultivation level. Wushuang told him that he would find a way to remove the rest of the poison from him, making him wonder if his father had actually risked his life for that mysterious elixir that only removed 30% of his poison. Wushuang turned around coughing blood and told him not to be dazed and to take it immediately, making him realize that his father's dedication to the original owner was unwavering. Then he put his hand on Wushuang's chest, making Wushuang shocked and confused as he asked why his cultivation level had increased. He wondered if Yun was helping him heal his injuries. He told Wushuang that he had been enlightened by a master and the poison in his body had been lifted. He had also regained his cultivation and was already at the 9th stage of body tempering nowadays, so Wushuang shouldn't worry about him anymore. He mentioned that he had a lot of healing elixirs with him, then gave his father a few and explained that he would recover after taking them. Wushuang realized this and asked him in shock if that master had also given him those elixirs. He replied, no, and told them that he had ransacked Cheng's treasury, leaving them frozen in shock. He also mentioned that it wasn't just that. He had destroyed Kun's dungeon, rendering him unable to cultivate from now on. This news shocked them in horror, and they asked him if he had truly ransacked the Grand Patriarch's treasury and destroyed Kun's dungeon. Silently, they thought that he had picked a fight with the Grand Patriarch's family without considering the consequences, and their master would be angry. But then Wushuang laughed loudly, leaving them confused. Wushuang praised Yun, saying that he had done well, and he hadn't expected his son to do something so impressive during his time away. He added that he expected it because Yuan was his son. making Wu and the server boy shake in fear. They told Wu Shuang that it was not the time to praise Yuan, but then Wu Shuang told them that he had turned Chang's son into a cripple, and Chang wouldn't spare him. 5 of the 8 patriarchs had decided to side with Chang, and they might want to overthrow him as the head of the Yi family. He cautioned him to be careful in the future, as they might be assassinated by these treacherous men. He assured his father not to worry, because if they dared to come there, he would make sure they entered alive, but couldn't leave alive. Suddenly, someone kicked their gate open and shouted for the people inside to listen up. Wu Shuang angrily asked who was there. The man asked if he was Master Yi and told them that the Grand Patriarch had ordered the entire clan to attend the council chamber immediately with no delays tolerated. Wu Shuang just glared at the man. Meanwhile, in the council chamber, a man reported to Chang that not only had Hyun beaten up their men, but he had also tortured their young master, Kun, and had ransacked their treasury. Chang was furious, and the man shakily begged him to avenge their young master, Kun. Chang angrily shouted that he would break Yi Yun into pieces, while others in the room looked on. Yi Ming, the second patriarch of the Yi family, angrily asked how dare Yun lay hands on his fellow clan members, shouting that Yun was truly bold and worse than a bastard. Suddenly, someone burst through the council chamber door, and Ming angrily asked who was there and how dare they make trouble there. They were shocked to see that the people they had sent to the Yi master's house were dead, and Yang told them that they were the ones who had attacked his clan members first. Chang angrily told him that he hadn't even bowed when meeting a patriarch and that he was getting unruly. Yang responded by saying that Chang was the one not following the rules and now he was reminding him of them. Chang angrily asked about Yang's qualifications and whether he deserved to stand in his father's place, which further fueled Chang's anger. Still, he teasingly asked Chang if he was speechless because he had a point. But then, someone with a lot of people arrived, and Wu Shang told Yun that he was late. He told his father that he was not late because the show was just about to begin. When Wu Shang asked Chang what he meant by his actions today and if he was trying to rebel by being so blatantly partisan, but Chang just laughed at Wu Shang and told him that his qualifications are mediocre. He asked him if he thinks he can be the head of the family if he doesn't have a good background. Then, Chang showed his power, while telling them that he thinks the position of the head of the family should be held by someone who is capable, and asked the people around him for their opinions. Ming replied that the Grand Patriarch was right, and the other 2 patriarchs fearfully replied that the position should be held by someone who is capable, and they are willing to serve the Grand Patriarch. Wu Shuang asked them why they were agreeing to it, but the patriarchs were silent in fear while apologizing to their master in their heads because their wife and son's lives were in Chang's hands. Then, Chang told Wu Shuang that if he kills his troublesome son now, he will have mercy and spare his life. But Yun just teasingly asked Chang if he wants to be the head of the family. Then he speedily appeared behind Chang while telling him that he'll see how much the Grand Patriarch can do. Chang immediately looked back and told him that he was out of his depth. But he just used his 5 poison palm to attack him, and Chang used his dark wind palm to strike back. Their palms met, leaving the patriarchs and the people around them wondering how Yun could have fought the Grand Patriarch, who is in the second stage of the Kai blood realm, to a draw. Chang called him a brat, and Yun teasingly asked Chang if he could hold out because he had a lot of surprises in store for him. Then he summoned his sword and grabs it. Chang, who was shocked because he recognized it as his own sword, he stabbed the sword at its owner, using his 3-fold attack speed, which left Chang in shock. When he pulled the sword out, Chang coughed up blood and fell to the ground, bleeding, shocking the people and causing them to shout that Yun had killed the Grand Patriarch. Then he asked Chang how it felt to die by his own sword. Then someone appeared behind him to attack. He was shocked to feel someone behind him, and the man attacked, breaking the floor in the process. Fortunately, he managed to avoid it, while the man told him that not only had he ruined Yi family's preferred son-in-law, Yi Kun, but now he had recklessly killed Chang. He asked Yun if he was completely disregarding their Yi family. Wu Shuang wordly asked him if he was okay, and he replied that he was all right. He knows that the Yang family is one of the 4 great families holding a powerful position in King Yang country. He remembers that not long ago, Khan wanted to have a marriage with the Yang family. So the Yang family not only wanted the Yi family to join their family, but also asked the entire Yi family to shed their original surnames, becoming a subsidiary family of the Yang family. He was disappointed to remember it, but figured out that no wonder that old man Chang was so arrogant. He asked if it could be that Chang was trying to flatter the Yang family. Then he told the man that his Yi family isn't a prestigious family, but they wouldn't do such a shabby thing. The man angrily called him an arrogant brat and told him that if he cut his throat now to apologize, he could let his father, Wu Shuang, die in peace. But then, someone appeared and told the man not to bullshit Yun and let him tackle that brat first. After that, behead his father before they go back and report the situation to the head of their family. Then the man summoned his sword and jumped to attack Yun while telling him to prepare for his death. But Yun just caught the man's sword using his 2 fingers to stop the man's attack, making the man shocked and realized that he was unable to move. He told the man that it looked like the 3rd stage of the Kai blood realm was not that powerful. Then Yun slashed the man's face and slashed in the other direction again, making the man shout in pain. The man wordly called his brother, and the patriarch was shocked, asking how that could be possible. Ming asks him if he is crazy, and how he killed the grand patriarch and also the Young family's emissary. But he just tells them that he is giving them back exactly what they tried to do to him, and if anyone wants to kill him, he will kill them back. Then he showed them his spirit glow sword technique that released a swarm of swords in midair, making the patriarchs open their mouths in shock. He told them that he was going to give them 2 choices. They could either obey his father and pledge their allegiance to him, or he will shred them to pieces. Then he called the man and told him that his brother was so loyal to Master Yang, so he should want to surrender. The man glared at him, saying a firm no. So he snapped his fingers, understanding the man's gaze, and attacked the man with a swarm of swords. The man shielded himself in time, but he noticed that it was an outburst of sword energy and he couldn't hold out much longer. In the end, the man was pierced by the 1,000 swords, and he teasingly told the man that he had chosen the right way for him. Then the man collapsed dead next to his brother's corpse. Then he activated his devouring skill, and the notification showed that he had successfully absorbed every bit of cultivation, gaining 60,000 experience points. Congratulations, he reached the 2nd stage of the Kai blood realm and his skill points have increased. Now, he can use a 5-fold attack speed. Seeing this, he realized that he could boost his attack speed every time he broke through a realm. Ming was filled with fear, thinking that Chang had been killed and the 2 Yang family emissaries were instantly slain. He wondered when Yan had become so powerful. For now, he understood they had no choice. He knelt on the floor and bowed, expressing their willingness to serve him. They knew that if they didn't obey Yun today, they would surely be killed. Yun, however, told them that those who were forced to follow Chang could offset their mistakes by helping to completely eradicate Chang's remaining party. As for the 5 traitors, he wanted them be stripped of their cultivation and imprisoned in the dungeon, where they wouldn't be released until they were dead, leaving Ming and the 4 traitors, patriarchs, shocked. Then, the guards captured the 5 traitors, and as they were captured, Ming told Yun that he had been too arrogant and made enemies too hastily. He also mentioned that if news of today's incident reached Qingyang County, the Yang family would certainly not spare him. The Yi family would eventually be ruined by him. Wu Shuang asked if he was hurt, and Yun replied that he was okay, so he should not worry, and all of Chang's men had been cleared out, so no one would come after them anymore. Wu Shuang proudly remarked that Yun had grown up and was acting like the head of the family. He would be relieved if the position of family head was passed on to him in the future. Yun, however, asked his father when the secret black moon would be unsealed. Wu Shuang replied that there were still 10 days until the 3 great families joined forces to unseal the secret black moon. Wu Shuang inquired about the reason for his interest. He remembered that the secret black moon was located in the deepest part of the Black Moon mountain range, a secret cave left behind by powerful individuals long ago. It was guarded by the 3 great families of Bayon City. He knew that the cave was full of spiritual aura and inhabited by many strong demonic beasts, as well as containing numerous precious and rare treasures. It was an excellent sanctuary for martial artists to cultivate. To prevent its resources from being depleted by endless scavenging, the 3 great families of Bayon City had sealed the cave 100 years ago. They agreed that it could only be unsealed once every 3 years. At that time, the three great families could send powerful disciples to enter the cave, cultivate, and seize treasures. The current Yang family had multiple Kai blood realm masters, and it was rumored that the Yang family's eldest young master, Yang Longjun, was a peak Kai blood realm master. Yang believed that if he were to challenge Longjun, he needed to increase his strength, and it seemed a trip to the secret Black Moon was in order. The next morning, he ventured into the ocean, diving deep in pursuit of something on the ocean floor. He soon realized that the treasure was hidden beneath the deep seabed. Thankfully, he had taken a water avoidance pill. The system then alerted him to the scent of treasure in the south direction. He swam in that direction and descended when he spotted the massive treasure. As he touched the treasure, he couldn't help but notice the incredible power had been beneath that spirit pool. When the notification congratulated him on gaining 4,000 experience points, he immediately swam back up, taking the treasure with him. This newfound wealth had elevated him to the third stage of the Kai blood realm, all thanks to devouring the treasure. The system displayed his progress, showing he had reached the third stage of the Kai blood realm, with 150,000 experience points out of 300,000, and was on the brink of breaking through to the fourth stage. His weapon was a spirit execution sword, his technique was inherited, and his divine ability was the 1,000,000 times attack speed. Currently demonstrated at 5-fold attack speed, he quickly emerged from the water, catching his breath. However, he was taken aback when he saw a woman in a sexy bathrobe looking equally confused. The lady immediately covered her chest and accused him of being a pervert. Angrily, she chased after him while he tried to explain the misunderstanding. She called him names and threatened him, but he managed to stop her from attacking. He reassured her that it was all a misunderstanding. However, the lady coughed up blood and fell onto him, prompting him to inquire about her well-being. She painfully asked him to get off, and he noticed a sword wound on her shoulder. At that moment, he heard the sound of approaching horses and a man shouting to his companions that he had found her. He ordered them to capture her. A bald man then drew his sword and informed Yan that the beautiful lady was a tart of the Wild Horse Gang. He advised Yan to leave if he knew what was good for him, warning that he would use his saber to kill him otherwise. He was aware that the Wild Horse Gang was a notorious group of thieves that operated around Bayonne City. They were known for their frequent looting and various criminal activities in the city. The bald man warned Yan that he had given him fair warning, but once his saber was drawn, there was no hope for Yan to survive. However, Yan swiftly moved behind the barn while holding the injured lady and explained that it was a coincidence because he was in the same situation. The bald man turned around in shock, but before he could launch an attack, Yan stabbed the man in the chest. The sudden attack caused the man's horse to bolt in fear, throwing off all the items the man had been carrying. The other members of the gang were shocked to see their boss killed, but Yan informed them that the rest of them were only in the first stage of the Kai blood realm, so they shouldn't waste any more time. However, one of the men shouted to his comrades to avenge their boss, making Yan realize that they were clearly outmatched. Yan easily dispatched the men who had surrounded him. The system then detected 7 individuals that could be devoured, along with a large number of treasures they were carrying. Yan couldn't believe that the system could devour them all at once, but he activated his devour skill, realizing that it would save him a lot of time. The system informed him that he had completely devoured the group and gained 220,000 experience points, congratulating him on breaking through to the 4th stage of the Kai blood realm. Yan walked away, leaving the dead bodies behind, reflecting that although they were all criminals, the good thing was that there were many of them, which had helped him break through to the next realm. A moment later, as he walked, the lady asked him to wait for her. She expressed her gratitude for saving her and healing her wounds. She admitted that she had misunderstood him earlier and introduced herself as Qin Yao. She inquired about his name and where he was from. Yan replied that his name was Yi Yun, a member of the Yi family in Bayonne City. He told her she was welcome and mentioned the Wild Horse Gang's numerous crimes as the reason for his actions. Qin Yao realized that he was from the Yi family and shared that she was from the Kaiun sect in Qingyang County. She had come with the sect's elders to recruit outstanding disciples. Just as she was about to ask Yan if he was interested in applying, fireworks suddenly lit up the sky. Yan knew that something had happened and immediately ran away, shouting to Qin Yao that he would see her soon.